So, folks, this is Kenny with Just the Right Angle. I'm just doing a little post-analysis on the debate that happened today. It was really not much of a debate. It was more of a three-on-one attack with Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris, as well as moderators. Honestly, I didn't even get their name. I think one of them's name's David. And it is pretty much a rigged debate, as it always has been. And in almost all these debates, it's been for decades now. The media has always taken the side of the least conservative. But in the past, they were able to ruin the careers. Sometimes moderators were able to ruin the careers of those they didn't like. But this time, Donald Trump, in this debate, did a much better job of putting the media in their place. And that's important to note, is that he really made sure that they weren't able to take over. He oftentimes interrupted them as he needed to do, and then he corrected the one moderator. His name's David Muir, I think is his name. One of the lies that David claimed during the debate is that he got a message from the city manager of the place in Ohio where they said there were no animals that were being eaten. Okay, this issue has come up that there's illegal aliens, mainly from Haiti, that have been put into this small town, and that these Haitians are eating animals. And I don't know if I can find where it says that the moderator is claiming that, because the debate just happened. But the moderator claimed Donald Trump talked about how this issue was going on during the debate, and Trump had to correct him. Here, I'll show this. This is a section of the debate here. If I can get the sound in on this, I don't know why.
Dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. And it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country. And if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
By the way, in Venezuela, they've eaten zoo animals. So yeah, that happens when socialists take over. When socialists take over, animals that aren't normally eaten get eaten. I wanted to see if there was a clip showing where David, the moderator, the so-called moderator, claims by the message from the city manager. So here it is again. You notice the media is trying to put this as fake. Okay, look at, you see this. No credible reports. The Springfield police. There's also one from the supposed city manager. Springfield, Ohio, is where an upwards of 20,000 Haitians were put here by our government at your tax dollars. By the way, they're getting a lot of money. Now let me see this if they're going to play this and the correction, because I want to get the correction most of all.
By allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Okay. Well, one other thing, and people need to understand this, a lot of your city council members, your mayors, as well as your county officials and your city clerks are actually diehard leftists, even in the reddest of states. And it's part of the reason why we lost the 2020 election, because the Republican Party has made little to no effort to really fight for these type of positions. Mayors, county clerks. Well, part of it is because there's a lot of consultants in the Republican Party that want media buys, and part of it is just gross incompetence. But yeah, a lot of your city leaders, even in a red state, will be diehard leftists. So after Donald Trump makes that statement, you notice, and you can see Kamala Harris is just freaking out, pretending it's fake. Let's see here the moderators. I'm going to skip ahead in the video here to the moderator.
ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
But the people
I'm
on
taking
television
it from the city
saying
manager.
their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond to the rest of what.
So again, the guy is claiming, well, the city manager said this. The city manager said this. Here you go. Here's the police arresting somebody in Ohio. Sorry about that. And this, I think, was actually 2 days ago. Here we go.
What did you do? Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me.
There's the police. There's the picture right there. Official arrest.
Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with it.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
You call the Humane Society, see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased.
So yeah, there's the police right there for the whole world to see.
I think it's like kind of odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day.
I'm pretty sure ABC won't talk to this guy because he hurts their narrative. Number one, he is actually talking about what the illegal aliens in Haiti are doing, and number two, they're going to have a difficult time calling this guy racist. He may not even be a Trump supporter. I bet he probably will become one after, based on what he's seeing. And this is Springfield City, so this is the very city that the manager supposedly talked to the debate moderator about.
And I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into... They flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from this. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them.
Yep. So there you go. There you go. Blatant. You have the truth from this guy who's actually there, who isn't what he may be MAGA now if he wasn't before. And you have the city manager. Who are you going to believe? Me or your lying eyes? But of course, as I've said before, the real issue isn't so much that the Democrats are going to win this election. That Democrats don't win elections. It is the Republican leadership that deliberately loses elections. They allowed Democrats to steal the 2020 elections. When Democrats are putting cardboard up in the building where they were counting the votes in Pennsylvania, where this debate was held, Republicans did nothing. When they kicked the election watchers out of the arena in Atlanta with a fake water leak and then started stuffing the ballot, Republican leadership did nothing. They allowed it to happen. They allowed these Dominion machines to be used. They allowed the mailbox, the mail-in voting, and they still are. In Wisconsin, the Republican Speaker of the House, Voss, is a corrupt official that allowed fraud to take place there. He ended the election investigation that was going on there. They actually, there was an effort to try to recall him, and a corrupt federal judge threw it out. And the reason they did that is so that this crooked, fake Republican could continue to sabotage any efforts for an election integrity. We're trying to fight for paper ballots here in the state of Arkansas. We've had several counties that pass it. We tried a statewide initiative. It was blocked by the Arkansas Republican Attorney General. So we tried it on a county level. I was part of that effort. There are Republican officials that are trying to sabotage that effort. Saline County Judge Steve Brumley tried to put a partial campaign to keep us from getting signatures. And now they're taking it in the courts, and there's a big court fight now. They're trying to claim that the ballot initiatives were not good because the title was misleading, even though they should have done it before the ballot initiative was started. And they're having to be forced by other judges to actually accept the signatures that were gathered and to put this issue on the November ballot. So yes, you do. In some counties, you get the chance to vote whether to have paper ballots, and in others, it's a fight. But it's mainly what we call rhinos, the John McCain type folks that Kamala Harris talked about in the debate earlier, that are trying to sabotage that. I do wish Donald Trump had been a little more, what we call, detailed regarding climate change. Carbon, by the way, is less than 4% of the Earth's atmosphere. Reducing all the trillions that Kamala bragged about we spent on supposed green energy is a scam. First of all, reducing carbon doesn't do anything to help the climate. Secondly, the so-called alternative energies to oil, to the fossil fuel, are far more toxic and expensive than the usage of fossil fuel. Of course, Democrats, on a regular routine basis, sabotage efforts to use U.S. fossil fuel, so that's why we're really dependent on foreign fossil fuel. And it's a height of arrogance. I wish Donald Trump had talked about September 11th. He did mention what happened regarding Afghanistan. The Taliban came up, how Harris and Biden allowed Americans to die and to suffer when the Afghan withdrawal. The reason why it happened in the first place, the billions of weapons were left behind. Nobody mentioned the $289 million that the Harris administration accidentally gave to the Taliban. How that happened, who's been held responsible. That was just a news outlet a few days ago. Of course, they don't care about women under the Taliban. But I wish he'd have mentioned September 11th. It's a date that our USA intelligence agency failed and allowed Saudi-backed Muslim terrorists to kill nearly 3,000 people. And something they could have prevented had they held real security. And we've allowed several terrorist attacks since then. The Boston bombers, who were illegal aliens who could have been prevented from coming here. And then instead of actually protecting the U.S., the industrial war complex and the BlackRock Vanguard crew decided to use it as an excuse to, do these proxy wars where our troops get killed because their hands are tied behind their back, and basically more multi-Vietnams, mainly in Iraq and Afghanistan and other Muslim countries, where we just spot and we have to work with allies that that hate us, like we give billions to Pakistan, and then they hide Bin Laden, all that mess. September 11th was really a pivotal moment in showing just how much of a failure the U.S. government is, and why we need people like Donald Trump in order to make some effort to reduce the size and scope of the corrupt government. I'm glad Trump said he's going to fire a lot of these corrupt government officials, but we need the same thing here. And we need on a local level. It's not just about Trump. We got it all the way down the line. And you got to reform the parties. The political parties are a mess. The Arkansas Republican Party, it is ignoring the rule changes we did in our state convention. And of course, the media are just parroting their narrative. We voted to close primaries, and they had an illegal executive committee meeting where they decided to open them, even though they didn't have the ability to do that. But the media reported on their side, and this fight is going on across the nation, and it's very discouraging. But as we've seen before, when enough people get together and they stay focused on the problem and not be distracted with their own issues, we make reforms. Nebraska was able to kick out the rhinos in their GOP convention. After their state convention, they forced all the rhinos to resign. They're now fighting to try to get their one of their electoral votes, which would normally go to a Kamala Harris or whatever Democrat empty suit they prop up, to go to Donald Trump if a Republican wins the whole state. It's called a unicameral versus bicameral electoral system. Other states are having to reform their GOPs. I think of Wyoming, which did a great job in kicking out Liz Cheney, who we now see as an absolute traitor to the Republican Party. Her and her dad are now endorsing Kamala Harris. But the Wyoming GOP first censured Liz Cheney, and then they had to fight an uphill financial battle to kick her out, but they did so. It's a good thing they did. And those fights are happening all over the state and nation. So probably the more important thing than, how much Trump can get out and campaign, and, what kind of October surprises both sides may have, how much money. Forget the political polling. That's nothing but a stupid media tactic to kind of distract from voting record. But what really matters is, can we get enough reformed Republicans in leadership who will keep the Democrats and steal the election? In the end, that's really what's going to matter. So those are my overall thoughts on the debate. Most people who watch this have already made up their mind. Those who have made up their mind should be able to, I do hope they research and find out not only how much of a liar Kamala Harris is, but the TV where they're getting their information. Again, I'll play this again one more time so people can see. I'll make this into a montage later on. But here is moderator guy. But again, notice how much he's like, the city manager said it, the city manager said it. So that's got to be gospel. And then you have right here, police.
What did you do? Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me. Smile, what did you? Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
Make this into
No,
a
we
video.
pulled up and she was just laying there with me.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating me.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
You call the Humane Society, see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased.
And there's some other footage there. There you go. There's your media. That's why I do the thing I do. That's why Dan Bongino and lots of other people online are, doing what we're doing. Again, here you go. You can follow me at Just the Right Angle. Here I am on Rumble. And That's my channel. You can see all kinds of content. Of course, this is the channel that has recently the big fight that occurred in Saline County. And it's not my most important video. I have lots of footage of various government officials that have failed. A whole host of
Do not threaten her. She got something.
So yeah, I filmed that. And the sad thing is the nation's going to tear apart if Kamala Harris gets into office, and it may not survive even if Trump gets in office. But again, we got to put a lot of people need to be focused on the problem, and the problem isn't. I'll show you what the problem is. It is leadership like Joseph Woods, who's the Republican Party of Arkansas chair, and who's partially responsible for that fight that you just saw earlier. And this is much more important because it actually shows bias. Remember K or K4? Well, ABC, NBC, CBS. This is one of their local affiliates. I think it's CBS. I'm not entirely sure, but here we go. Here I'll show you exactly why the problem that we're in.
No, thank you, boss.
Sorry?
No. Thank you.
Just really? Oh, really, Joseph? Come on, man.
Coward!
Wow. So that just happened. Joseph Wood let the TV reporters in, but
And the
not
Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette then.
But not South Arkansas Reckoning.
But not South Arkansas Reckoning, and not me, even though I'm a delegate.
Wow.
And it was Wood the people, and Wood did it. Wood needs to out.
Yep. Wood.
Oh, he's in trouble now.
He's a coward.
Joseph Wood. Just.
You have it all on video.
Yep. Let me announce it to everybody else. Okay, everybody. So Joseph Wood just let the TV media in, but blocked
Me.
Susie Parker of South Arkansas Reckoning and myself. Joseph Wood himself opened the door, let in the TV media,
And the Democrat
KK4
Gazette.
and Democrat Gazette, but did not let me in and not let in Susie Parker.
That's right.
Are you work with press?
I do.
Okay.
And this is Nelda Speaks and Benny Speaks, who are leaving. So again, this was the illegal executive committee meeting where they canceled out the will of the people of the Arkansas State Convention. And again, this type of behavior is how Democrats are going to win and how there's going to be strife in the Republican Party. So again, your GOP leadership has been fundamentally for years absolute failure. And it was one of the greatest things that happened was Ronald McDaniel and about 60 other RNC officials were fired. Hopefully they're blacklisted and they won't end up getting jobs anywhere else where they can affect politics. But anyway, that's the kind of stuff that's going on. So that's my takeaway from the debate overall. Trump handily won despite being a 3-1 fight. I'll do a broadcast tomorrow, 12:35 Wednesday, where I'll talk a little bit more about some issues that are coming up, ways to get involved. I just wanted to get a little post-debate analysis from y'all. Debate was mainly entertaining. I watched it with Dan Bongino's broadcast. He had upwards of 300,000 people, and they'll play the whole thing and give a bunch of updates and fact checks of what's going on. But anyway, y'all have a great day and stay safe.